So I couldn't find an answer to this on YouTube, so I thought I'd make my contribution to it. I've got a Liftmaster 3rd horsepower garage door that the motor's running, but the door doesn't open. So upon looking a little further, I noticed the joints here where the screw drive meets the motor has a plastic coupler piece. That seems to have broken off. So we'll take a look at that. But this is kind of what it looks like. And this is the piece. You can see it's just a gear coupler, and mine cracked and broke and fell off completely. So go to the parts store and got a replacement, and we'll try to get these guys on. I'll have to figure out how to get the motor back. So there are two bolts right there that hold the rail, so I'm going to see which way is easier so that we can slide the motor back or slide the rail away, and then get the coupler slid onto the connection point. Okay, I've kind of looked at the way the rail mounts, and I've got a 2-bolt solution to lift the rail away from the motor so that you can pivot it. Here's the Liftmaster, and if we come up here, there's the 2 bolts where the rail connects. Kind of hard to see, but there they are. And it's a bolt and a nut. There's 2 of them that actually connects the rail to the motor assembly. Now, if you follow this all the way over here, on that end, it's not actually bolted down. It's just on a D-ring bolt, so it'll actually pivot. So you don't have to worry about loosening anything on that side. So just remove these 2 bolts, and the motor should pivot on these guys, and we should be able to get the coupler in. Okay, got all the requisite parts. So there's our coupler again. Here's the bolts we're going to be taking out along the rail, and that it should just pivot up and out of the way. We can slide the coupler on. As the usual, safety check. We're going to pull the power, so I don't have to worry about any of that. And it's at 11 millimeter on both sides, the head and the nuts. So loosen those up, and we'll see what's next. Okay, get the 2 bolts and nuts off of there with my replacement coupler. And if we look at what happens to the motor now, as you take the 2 bolts out, you'll notice the whole thing rotates. That's kind of hard to see in there, so let me get a flashlight. See that? So that should give you enough room to pivot and put your new coupler on. So let's try that and see what happens. Alright, here's my update. Got the coupler in place, and I also, in addition to these 2, I had to loosen these bolts that actually mount to the ceiling on either side. That's a 13 millimeter on both sides, so that the motor itself, or the motor unit, could rotate enough backwards to slide that coupler on. But that's it. It's all back together. Slide it on with a little bit of work, and we'll get everything hooked back up and see how it works.